Hey guys, EvansWithZ111 here today bringing you a video on a game called Fairy Fencer F, a new game that's come out by Idea Factory on Steam. And this one is a strange one. It's got a lot of very similar features to the old Idea Factory games, as you can see the map like this, and even if you go to a town or city, it's not a city you explore, but you can go to the individual areas like this and you can talk to particular characters. As seen there, there's a lot of different quests available as you would guess in a typical RPG game. But the concept of this game is what I'd say makes it interesting, because you play, if I quickly go to the Soul Planes here, you play as the Fencer, a character who can wield something called Furies. Furies being these awesome badass swords. If you can see, that's what I'm swinging there. That's his now signature weapon. And with these swords, there are fairies bound to them, and these fairies are trying to release the goddess. Now this is another character who wields a fury herself, and the combat is again very similar to other Idea Factory games. You run into battle, you get within range of the enemy, and you can attack, then you can do certain combos depending on whatever you want to cast really. And as you can guess, the style is Japanese anime. That may put you off if it's not your thing, but for me, I don't care. The game's fun, it's fun. I don't care what the art style looks like, and personally I prefer anime style games. I think they have a more unique aesthetic than games that try to be realistic, i.e. Witcher or any other kind of RPG like that. Not to say it's a better game than that, but I digress yet again. I will go to quickly cover the concept of this game. In fact, if I go to the city and then go to the inn, I mentioned those Furies which the fencers can wield, the Furies being these particular swords, and these swords, if I go to the Godly Revival area here, you can see that there is a statue of a man and a woman. This is a god and a goddess that battled millions and millions of years ago in old legends, and they have been pierced with a series of swords. And our objective as the Fencer is to release all of these swords, essentially, and we do that by collecting swords in the real world, and then the fairy bound with that sword can release a sword that is in the statue. And this does influence gameplay too. If you release the particular swords, you get particular bonuses, and these bonuses can enchant the fairies, which enchant the swords which you are using. So it's quite a complicated thing, but at the same time it's very, very simple. And I think it works pretty fantastically. The swords themselves, as I said, they have fairies bound to them, but you can use them to shape the world. Like, you can see there's a sword dug into this dungeon here, and that means that this dungeon, I get 50% more money from it, but I get 10% less weapon points being what you use to level skills. But I can pull out this fury, and now I can plant this sword over in the next dungeon, which is what I'm going to do, the next dungeon being up here. And then I can use this to unlock the dungeon, and anything in this dungeon I will also get extra money from, but less weapon points. And you can see I've got two other Furies here, but they are currently bound with my characters, which increases their stats and gives them unique skills and everything. So let's quickly go to the Catechus Ice Cave here and show you a bit more of the gameplay and introduce a few more of the gameplay elements and everything like that. There is voice acting, but it's not present everywhere, which is something I'm not crazy about. I love the voice acting, I think it is good, but I don't like the bits where there's no voice acting, if that makes sense. I don't like the inconsistency, is what I'm trying to say. So the character on your left, Edge, is it Edge? I need to check its Edge, because I might be getting that confused with Star Ocean protagonist. Okay, Tiara is the first other character we came across. She's, as I said, hunting down the Furies herself. Erin is the fairy that was associated with the main character's Fury. And what is his name? What is his name? It's really bugging me. I know, but I've forgotten as soon as I started recording. And it is Fang. Okay, Fang and Edge are very similar. You can't have a go at me for that. I knew Edge was the Star Ocean 5 protagonist, so I don't know why I got it wrong. You can see that the characters, unfortunately, may be seen as cliches. They are, let's say caricatures. They're a bit extreme. Like, Tiara is a very, I don't even know how to explain it, but you will be able to associate these characters with other characters from other games or anime or TV shows or everything. They are pretty cliche, but the game doesn't take itself seriously. It's not trying to be a serious game, so I don't mind that. I don't mind that the dialogue can sometimes be a bit cringy. It can make you laugh a few times, but it's very tongue-in-cheek, and as long as you remember that, then it should be fine. And as I said, if you enjoy the gameplay, then it's not a huge concern. It does seem as though there are ulterior motives going on, not just between Tiara, this accomplice, but between Erin the fairy too, which is nice. And Fang, he's probably not a protagonist you'll be able to get behind, I will warn you of that. So, if I go back into the mechanics of battle a bit more, as well as basic attacks, there are commands with skill, like you can use your items, you can switch with other priority characters, you can get into Fairize, which is something I'll explain later, and there are skills with magic, because wielding these Furies allows you to cast magic and cast skills that you wouldn't typically be able to cast. So it's a Mantis, it'll probably be weak to fire, right, so I'm not actually going to use her abilities, I will just use her normal attacks. And then Fang has access to fireballs, which I think should damage this guy. This can be cast at long range. You may notice there's some toast in his mouth. That's not his character look, I put that there. Don't ask why I put that there, I wanted to know what it looked like and I completely forgot about it. Because you can customise the character's looks if you choose to do so. This boss doesn't look too tricky, so I should just be able to actually finish it with standard attacks. You can see that I'm not within range for an attack right now, but you can do abilities which close the gap, so to speak, like shooting slash, which will jump in. And they, like, the graphics aren't incredible, but the animations, they've gone, like, they put a lot of effort into the animation, so even though the graphics and the effects aren't incredible, the animations have been worked on a lot, and I do like that. I prefer really good flashy animations as opposed to really good graphics. That's not good. Oh, okay. I thought that was going to be a plot point then. But the premise of the game so far has been you go to a dungeon and you try and collect the Furies, and you find out information on, or you find out more backstory about the god and the goddess and everything going on. And the dungeon exploring is very similar to the previous Idea Factory games. You can surprise attack enemies, or they can surprise attack you like this. So you need to choose whether or not you want to get the jump on them or run away from them or whatever. You can get AoE abilities like this, and to be honest, the combat, I do like it. It feels a lot more fast paced, and I should warn you, there's a lot of grinding in this game. So fast paced combat is a must, because if there wasn't, then it would just be too slow and annoying. It can be sometimes tricky to aim the abilities, like, I mean, previous Idea Factory games on Steam, again, they pretty much need to be played with a gamepad. You can play them with PC, but it just doesn't work as well. With this one, the PC controls feel much better, but you can still feel they are a bit or like sudden like that. If I try and move the camera like that, it can be bad, or hard to get used to at least. If I quickly go into the menu, I can show you, one sec, I'll first of all show you the weapon boost. You can level, like, how you level up your characters is actually really good. You can level up any of their particular raw stats and how many combos they can do, and their Fury form, which again I will get into in a moment. Or you can use those points for WP being your skill points, which you use to buy things. You can use them to buy new skills, you can use them to buy new magic, you can use them to buy abilities, which are passive effects inside and outside of combat. You can use them to buy new combos, which you can create your combos out of. And there are various weapons too, because your Furies can transform into different kind of abilities like axes or knuckles or swords, and they all have their unique reasons for using them, I guess. And here you can see where I've got the toast equipped. You can customize your character with different things which you can find around or buy, and then you can combine them with certain fairies or spirits which you've unlocked. So these are the ones I've got so far, and they buff certain stats, and they also have abilities too, like wind protection, wind support, which buffs and protects you against wind. That one makes my sword more powerful, makes my fire spells more powerful, and you can see there's a lot of detail to it, I guess, and it's good. I like it. There's a lot of depth to this game, so as well as having a cool original story, it has a solid game behind it that you can actually enjoy. You can level up all your fairies as well as leveling up your characters, and it's just good. And as well as a lot of party members, which there are, a lot of quests, there's just a lot of depth, and I think that's fantastic. I really, really do. And I think it's the sort of game you will be able to put a lot of time into. I think it's a shame that it... Oh god, can I even run away? No, I can't. I think it's a shame that it is grindy at parts. Sometimes you do need to level up because an enemy is too strong, or sometimes you need to farm for gold to get more restorative so you can take on a boss, and I think that is a shame, but I think that is a cliche of RPGs that some people do like. I mean, hell, I myself liked it at one point. I liked it when games you can just storm through them and rush through them easily, but now that I've realised the value of time a bit more, I've realised that grinding can be a pain in the ass. Here's an example where you can see that I should be able to hit both of them, but it's very hard to get the camera into place. There we go, like that. And I will now go into the Fairize form, because I've pretty much covered most of the features, at least the basic features of the game. There is a bar at the top right around each of the characters you can see. The one around, I've forgotten his name again, Edge, Fury, Fang, that's it. The bar around Fang is more full than Tiara's. So if you fill up that bar by doing attacks, and if you do anything other than attacks, basically, you lose the bar, so you kind of want to maintain that momentum. So I will, in fact, no, I need to get into another battle to do this, I believe, because I need to have a full enemy. Basically, if you haven't worked it out already, it triggers some kind of ultimate form where you can do a lot more powerful attacks and you attack more powerful and you get an ultra cool transformation at the same time. So it's kind of like your limit break ultimate ability type deal. Alright, let's try and find a more powerful enemy. Let's see if I can get away from these guys. There we go, sweet. Jump up here and... Alright, you look more powerful, so let's quickly grab this treasure crystal. Traveler's amulet, sweet. Let's see what that does if I quickly work. Oh, it's Z and C. Whoops, my bad. Traveler's amulet. Word safe travels. Wait, so it doesn't actually say what it does. Can I equip it on a character? I will. It's not. No, it's not an accessory or something, is it? Okay, I'm not sure what that does yet, but I'm sure it does have an effect. I was going to say, also in the library, there are challenges too, which I think is a really cool thing. Basically, everything you do it can increase your character's stats. Like, if you walk as party leader, then you can increase your agility as Fang. There's even one for jumping, increases your stats. So there's lots of little bonus objectives you can do, which make your character more powerful. So there's alternative ways to level than to just level, but in a way, I suppose that facilitates grind even more, doesn't it? But it's up to you whether or not to judge that is the case. I just think it's an extra cool gameplay feature. So what I will do is wait as her and see if I can't get her bar up a little bit. And in fact, I'll wait just so I can... I'm kind of trying to force out a transformation here, which isn't the best thing. When you take damage too, you build up the bar, but I'll just do some normal attacks to get her bar up to the next tick, and then I can show you her transformation. The transformations are cool. They're very much kind of clutch things. You definitely will use them in boss battles, but a lot of their special abilities require you to use your own health, so they really are clutch abilities. Now I am going to heal here just because I feel as though I need to, and that will reduce the bar, unfortunately, but I think I'll get attacked, so it should increase my bar too. As long as I hit the next tick, then I will be able to transform, and then the bar will go down and I'll lose my transformation. Okay, let's just attack the hippogriff, and then I might actually be able to get 2 transformations. Okay, so now I can go into this, I can Fairize, and then you get a little animation with a fairy and a weapon, and they stab themselves with a weapon. As I said, this isn't a game about avoiding cliche by any means, but it's tongue-in-cheek, and they're not taking themselves seriously. But then you get your transformation, you get really really intense music at the same time, you do more powerful attacks, and you get access to a larger variety of skills too. I haven't got too many right now as I am early on in the game, but I will show you the ones I have got. So then he will do the same, and I haven't got the mana on him, so I'm going to actually use one of these just so I can get it. So I'll use that on Fang, and then it will skip to Tiara, and I can cast Tempest Waltz, which is, the animations for these are like, they're just so good, and I really love how far they've gone with the animations. I think they give you a really nice feel when you do use them. Like, it feels as though they're powerful abilities, even if they're not necessarily powerful, they don't necessarily do a lot of damage, but they do, and they're worth using. So as I said, very much clutch abilities. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to do a video on this game to give it some exposure, because I think a lot of people will look at it and just kind of turn the other way and think, oh, it looks silly and it looks stupid, but there is substance behind it, and that's what I wanted to say. If you are a fan of, well, any good RPG really, Star Ocean, Final Fantasy, Persona, Kingdom Hearts with the whole Furies thing going on, it takes I don't want to say it takes inspiration from a lot of those, but it has a lot of similar themes and concepts, so I think you will enjoy it. And yeah, I definitely think it's worth a pickup. So, let me know if you are interested, let me know what you think of it. If you have any criticisms of it, do let me know. And until then, please leave a rating if you enjoyed the video. This is me, Evans with Z11, and this is me out. Peace.